Hey, what's up, crypto friends? Welcome back to the channel. Today is Tuesday, June 23rd. And in today's video, we're going to be covering my 3 top favorite altcoins that I'm currently looking at least for the month of June into July, okay? And in some ways, these are currently my favorite altcoins kind of period, meaning that these could very well last into, a few months further down the line. I will explain further. And yeah, so let's just get right into it. All right, guys, before we get started though, I would like to mention that this is not financial advice, guys. Bitcoin has been currently on a tear. If you guys haven't already, be sure to check out my last video regarding technical analysis on how Bitcoin, my personal outlook on Bitcoin, and how I see this affecting altcoins, okay? So as long as Bitcoin is maintaining these highs that's currently at, I do think that altcoins will have a strong probability of following through as well, right? Meaning that if Bitcoin continues to go on an uptrend, altcoins will do so as well, okay? So that's the only way that these charts that I'm going to show you today will only be applicable. Anyways, so with that being said, let's get right into it. So the first altcoin that I'm extremely bullish on is, of course, the ALGORAND. All right, this is, by this point, this should not be a surprise. If you've been following my channel for quite some time, you know I'm a huge fan of algo. I have been trading this coin since last year, around June, July of 2019, right? And since then, it's really made me a lot of money, even though it hasn't necessarily uptrended or done crazy price action like some of these other altcoins that I'm going to bring up on the list. This coin does still have a lot of potential. And I did make a video on it earlier in the year called the next Ethereum ? Algorand analysis, right? I made this back in February on the 15th. I will probably leave a link in the description below for you guys to go check this out. But essentially, I cover in this video the project ALGORAND itself, right? Why I'm bullish on it on a long-term basis. If you don't know, ALGORAND is a DeFi token. Right now, if you notice, the most top performing altcoins in the market are DeFi, meaning that they focus on decentralized finance. That's what essentially stands for, DeFi. That's what chainlink is. That is what a lot of your favorite altcoins are, Tezos, etc. And this is what ALGORAND is as well, right? So there's a lot of potential to be had with this altcoin. And I do think that once this thing gets going, it's going to get going, right? Okay. So let's cover it from a technical analysis standpoint really quickly. Right now, ALGORAND has been consolidating and holding this low for quite some time, all right? It managed to finally bounce off from its lows in May, and for the last 2 months it's just been consolidating on this general range for essentially holding this wedge. And I do think that in the coming either days or weeks, who knows how long, this thing is going to end up pushing and it's going to get going. Really, I think that this will end up going above 31 Satoshi mark. All right, and once it gets above this general range, I think we'll get another major consolidating range, okay? I think that this area will end up seeing a lot more accumulation with ALGORAND before making a higher high and pushing up to retest its previous all-time highs. At least that's what ideally I would like to look for with ALGORAND. And this is why I'm currently holding some pretty good fat stacks into this right now. Just because, 1, I've already made a lot of money off this. 2, I already got a nice entry on it. And 3, I'm expecting a lot more upside with ALGORAND. If there's any other tokens to get out of this video, this one's definitely it, all right? Again, not financial advice, but this is probably my most favorite altcoin right now that the market has to offer, okay? And I think it's going to have a bright future in the next coming possibly months, maybe even years. But I'm really hoping that very soon we will see some pretty crazy price action. So yeah, once again, my first favorite altcoin pick is, of course, ALGORAND. And let's get right into the next one. All right. So into the next one would most likely have to be ZRX. All right. So if you've been in space for quite some time, 0x is a project that's been around for quite some time. All right, this isn't a new project. It's been around since mid 2017. And it's had some pretty good price action in the past, right? You can see that clearly in 2017, this was a really high performing coin. It did over 10x from its lows. And throughout the entire time of 2018 or so, it did have some pretty viable price action, right? It did bounce off 300%, 100%, right? Where it was just a really good trading token. It wasn't, of course, until Bitcoin ended up dropping that it started to have its downfall. Well, currently, luckily for you, I'm sorry, 0x, right? So we're talking about 0x project here, is still currently sitting at its kind of lower price range, but it is starting to show some signs of life here. All right, this is why I'm particularly really bullish on it, is because for the first time in a very, very long time, 0x is comfortably sitting above that 200 exponential moving average EMAs, right? So all these little lines that you see right here, these are all the EMAs, right? You have the 200, the 200 exponential moving average, the 140, the 18, the 36, right? These are all these major EMAs that I personally like to look after. And I do have a tutorial on those EMAs and why they play a huge role on my channel. But right now they're comfortably sitting above those EMAs on a daily basis. And as you can see, very, very clearly right now, ALGORAND, 0x is starting to wedge out here. All right. And it might not be the best wedge. It might not be the perfect one, but it is wedging nonetheless. All right. Especially when you look at it from a weekly perspective, this to me looks really bullish, guys. I think that in the coming weeks, possibly months, I think that if once it gets enough accumulation here, that it's going to continue to push up here. And I think it still has a lot of juice towards the upside. So this is one of those coins that I'm going to be holding at least from a mid to macro basis, meaning that I could be holding this for a few months down the line. But as long as it holds this general vicinity and doesn't break down and doesn't going down, then I'm going to continue to add on to it once it starts get going, right? Once it starts climbing and breaking out. So again, this is 0x. This is a really bullish project that I've been following for quite some time. And as you guys know, or if you don't know, 0x does have partnerships with Coinbase. They do have a lot of partnerships with a lot of major exchanges. And I wouldn't be surprised that once the next bull market hits, that they're really going to have a lot of development, right? They do have a decentralized exchange on their own. And just really the overall project itself is just really, really solid. I would recommend for you guys to go check it out. 0x. I am trading this on Binance. I will leave a link in the description for below where I trade altcoins as well. But yes, so my second altcoin pick, of course, is 0x. For my last one, I was a little unsure just because a lot of my favorite altcoins, or at least a lot of the altcoins that I trade with, are pretty run up, right? And it's pretty uncertain. So if you guys have if you guys have any suggestions or recommendations in the comment section below, be sure to leave them and I will get to them, and I will look over them, I should say, to see if I agree or disagree. But I guess in the regards right now, one of the altcoins that I'm always been pretty bullish on is, of course, ADA, aka Cardano. The reason so is that one, Cardano, similar to 0x, has had a huge impulse move towards the upside. Okay, this is one of those altcoins that has broken out and has made extremely good price action for the first time in a long time. When you look at it from a macro perspective, you can see that it is finally, after a long time of accumulation, right? You can see right here since the time of last year, August 2019, up until recently in May of 2020, you can see that this was an extended period of accumulation and consolidation, and it finally ended up breaking towards the upside, meaning that this is the good first step for Cardano to make. All right. And if you haven't heard already, right now Cardano is going to release their mainnet very, very, very soon. Meaning that they're finally going to go live with the projects, and with that, they're going to follow it up with a lot of projects in between. I personally think that Cardano is going to be at least a top 10 cryptocurrency into the next bull run. All right, I do think that it's going to hold its place, and it's going to really be a huge contender in the space for blockchain technologies. Okay. So, and not to mention, I mean, if you look at it from this perspective, right, from a long-term perspective, it really does still have a lot of upside if it manages to reclaim its, previous all-time highs or whatnot, right? Which again, could be possible, could not. Either way, guys, I mean, just from a technical analysis standpoint, this is still holding out really well. It is wedging out in my personal opinion, and I would be looking to add more in if it manages to pull back here, at least down towards this general vicinity at 800 satoshis. And if it can manage to do that, I will end up adding into my long positions here, and I will continue to compound this as long as it continues to hold these highs, right, more or less up in this ranges. Again, there's a lot of fundamental backing I think that Cardano has, and I do think that this will have a lot of really good price action in the future, and it will continue to do so, right? So again, not financial advice. This is my personal picks for these altcoins. So let me know, do you agree or disagree? Do you think that these are good altcoin picks? And I would like to hear your own altcoin picks, right? Which coins are you looking at? Which coins are you the most bullish on? There are a lot of altcoins in this market, hundreds and thousands of them out there that personally even I have traded. So it's really hard to pinpoint which ones are really good, which ones aren't. But for me, at least these are the ones that I'm most bullish on, the ones that I do see life in them. And of course, we've already seen, they do have price action that follows with that. Okay, so with that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this list. And as always, I will see you on the next one.